Hey, welcome. We're going to do 5 minutes or so of Mongo DB and teach you all about it. So hang on tight. Here we go. What is it? MongoDB is a NoSQL database. What that means is it's not like you would normally think of with a bunch of tables and records. It's more like documents, and these documents are stored in JSON. We won't really talk too much about what JSON is, but it's really the standard of how we move data around the internet nowadays and the World Wide Web. So on a Mac, pretty easy to install Mongo using the brew utility. Just simply say brew install Mongo. It'll go out and download the things that it needs. Once it's done that, all we need to do is start it up, and we're going to start that with sudo just MongoD. It'll ask me for my super user password. And now our Mongo server is installed and running. So that got us to that. Now to create a new database, I'm going to copy a lot of these commands, just makes it quicker. So to create a new database, the first thing we do is type, as it says up here, Mongo. That starts the client up. And then we're ready to actually say use sample DB. That creates the database. And if I do show DBs, it will list all the databases. Now this one's not listed yet because I haven't stored anything in it. So Mongo doesn't actually save the database until you actually start putting data in. You can check which database is currently selected by simply typing the DB command. It says, yep, you're in sample DB. Similar to the use statement in SQL. Let's insert a new document. So you'll notice that this is all in JSON. So this part that is highlighted is JSON, similar again to what you'd have on the World Wide Web. And we will hit enter on that, and it says, yes, we inserted one. And if we do db dot sample db dot find paren, it lists all the records in the table that we've done so far. So what we're going to do real quick is just to add some more. So here goes another one, and we'll grab a third one. You can certainly copy these commands out of the presentation just like I'm doing, make it a lot easier for you to get started here. You can also create your own data as long as you keep it in JSON format. You'll also notice the numbers here are not in quotes. Now let's look a little bit as to how the document's organized. We have a first name, a value, a last name, a value, a pay rate, and a value. So we actually have 3 fields with the appropriate values, so keys and values stored here. And that's all there is to it to actually add data. Now if we wanted to find a particular record, we already showed you how you can list all the records, but if you want to find a particular record, just specify the field and value that you're looking for. If you add pretty on the end, it'll make it in a more friendly JSON format. You see that? And we can also do comparisons just like you can do in SQL. So we can say give us all the pay rate records where the pay rate is greater than or equal to 15. List 2 of those. And we already talked about pretty. How do we update? Very simple. We use the update command, and the update command has 2 parts. There's the key that you want to update, or the part of the document that you want to update, or the document that you want to update in this case. And then you simply call the set command with the pay rate that you want to set it to, and again it says it matched one and it modified one. So there's an update. And then finally, how do we delete? Deleting is pretty easy. We're coming up close to our 5 minutes here, so we're going to rip through the last part of this. That removes the record. You can use the up arrow command to do the find. We'll go back and do pretty on everything that is now in our database. We should have 4 records, and there they are. We've modified the pay rate on one. And to delete a database, again, show DBs, lists all the database. Now you'll notice that this one is listed. Use sample DB gets us to that database, and then if we do DB drop database, and we dropped it, and to stop Mongo, we will exit out of the client, stop the server by hitting Control-C, brew, uninstall Mongo, takes it off our system, it's now gone. And one more thing, here's how you can find out more by going to MongoDB. There's also great tutorials out on the internet. So I hope you enjoyed this 5-minute trip through learning Mongo. Thanks.